clear up this news you're seeing on the timeline. The British state has accused me of a crime. They said 15 years ago I did something I wasn't supposed to do and I'm a criminal. But they won't tell me who against. They won't tell me where it happened. They won't tell me when it happened. They just said 15 years ago you did a crime. And I said, okay, against who? We're not telling you in case you tweet it. Why would I tweet it? What are you talking about? Tell me who I committed this crime against so I can defend myself. Nope. We're not going to let you defend yourself. You're accused of a crime. You're charged with a crime. We won't tell you who against. And I said, well, then how do I put a defense together? And they said, well, if you come to England, we'll tell you. I said, sure, I'll come to England. No problem. All I want to know is, can you guarantee I will not be remanded in custody? They said, no, we're not going to guarantee you that. If you come to England, there's a strong chance you're going to go to Belmarsh, remanded in custody for years, pre-trial.
Welcome to Rolling Ratchet. I'm your host that smokes the most. They call me New York Nizzy, and today we're talking about Andrew and Tristan Tate. These dudes are facing 100 years in prison. Damn! Now, I can't tell you everything the Tate brothers done wrong, but I can tell you a few of them for sure. We normally hear that money is power, and in most situations, yes, money is power, until you go against the government. All they gotta do is put some smut on your name or one accusation, and they could cause you to lose your money and your freedom. For whatever reason, Andrew Tate thought this couldn't happen, so he kept poking the bear. And in this situation, the bear was the government of the UK. He kept going after them, saying things like this.
The Brits are in a quagmire because, like Moby Dick, in their haste to get hold of me, they didn't quite understand the complexities of extradition and also the brutal inefficiency of Romanian law. Because the Brits tried to extradite me, and the warrant has been satisfied. I will be extradited when my Romanian case is complete. My Romanian case is on a prosecutor's desk. If the prosecutor closes the case, Romania owes me $1 billion. So it's in the prosecutor's interest to keep the case open on his desk, a case he can't fix, until he retires. Because if he closes it, they owe me $1 billion. And the UK can't get me as long as that case is open. The UK are pissed, calling the Romanians saying, close the case if you don't have a case. And the Romanians are saying, we're not saying we don't have a case. We're saying it's difficult to fix, but we're going to try because if they close it, they owe me $1 billion.
I think the UK is coming for me next. I think they're going to launch a case on me. I think they're going to attempt to arrest me. The UK is draconian. It's out of control. They've just entered recession today. It's a failed society where crime rates are out of control and stabbing are out of control, and they no longer have a border, and people are just arriving by boat, and there's acid attacks. It's the acid attack capital of Europe. You can walk down the street and get acid thrown in your face and be permanently disfigured for life. Wow. They should have bigger things to worry about. But I guess their primary objective is, instead of trying to fix our problems, which we don't believe we can do, let's kill the person who highlights the problems. Let's fix the man who tells the truth. Yeah. We have all of these problems in our society, but instead of fixing them, let's instead attack the person who highlights them, because that makes them less prevalent to the populace. So let's get rid of Andrew because he tells the truth about what's happening in England, and then maybe we'll get away with this scam a little bit longer. And that's why they've come up with the idea they have, and that's why, as we speak right now, the British government is trying to put me in jail. I'm pretty sure of that.
And then this happens in Miami.
Come here. Oh, shit. Come over here by me. Let's go.
So then Andrew Tate thinks that Trump is going to come save him. And then they asked the White House if Trump is going to do anything to stop the extradition. And this is what they had to say.
Is President Trump or the administration, do they have any plans to intervene in the extradition process for the Tate brothers?
No.
Now, I truly believe that Donald Trump probably wants to help the Tate brothers, but listen to what they're being charged with.
38 new charges in total have now been authorised against Andrew and Tristan Tate, bringing the total number of charges faced to 59. The charges relate to 7 victims, spanning a period from 2010 to 2017. Our officers have worked closely with the CPS and both national and international law enforcement agencies as part of this complex investigation. I can now confirm that officers from the United States have arrested both Andrew and Tristan Tate in relation to this matter overnight, and they have been detained pending ongoing legal proceedings. I want to make it clear, there is no place for male violence against women and girls in our society, and we will continue to work tirelessly to support victims and investigate all reports made to us. Thank you very much.
We, of course, are going to fight extradition, so the court will set a hearing during which we will argue the merits of our position. We'll be looking at the fourth prong of the test, which is the probable cause prong. We believe that we have strong grounds, and we will make that argument to the court at the appropriate time. I don't see any set of circumstances where the judge will want to do that today. If our clients happen to get released today, then God bless America, but I think that the chances of release today are slim to none, and that does not have anything to do with the merits of the case. That is just what happens typically in these situations. The court needs time to adjust and understand what's going on. We're going to need to examine the paperwork that comes over from the United Kingdom. We'll make our arguments in a few weeks, and then we'll let the chips fall where they may.
And they asking Donald Trump for help. Trump probably like, hold on now. They're already on my head for these Epstein files. Y'all being accused of doing the same stuff I got away with. Y'all on your own. But when it comes to Andrew and Tristan Tate, I gotta talk about who they are now before I talk about who they used to be. Because the trouble that they're in now is for who they used to be. Who they are now, I believe they've helped a lot of young men out. For the past couple years I've been listening to them, their message has been pretty consistent. They've told all men, get as rich as you possibly can, go to their gym and get in the best shape of your life. How could you be mad at that message? And this is why they have so much support. Even when they was canceled on all social media, all they did was get bigger because everyone kept reposting their content. Now this next clip I'm going to play is from a young lady who said police tried to get them to lie on Andrew Tate.
Hey everyone, Jasmine here again. If you haven't seen or heard of me before, I'm one of the imaginary victims in Andrew Tate's case. Now first things first, I've never actually been a victim of anything, and I've said it over 15 times to the police, but my statements keep getting thrown away. Now 15 months after this whole investigation started, seeing that they have no evidence because there has been no crime committed, they started even faking conversations between me and other people just because they are determined to put Andrew in jail and to turn us against each other. Now I remember quite well what kind of conversations I've had with those people, and none of them are real. Andrew, if you see this right now, I really miss you. I wish I could give you a hug right now. I wish I could talk to you and see you, but unfortunately that's not possible. And everyone remember that this happened to Andrew and Tristan Tate. If this happened to them, it can happen to anyone. And the scary part is, are you gonna be able to survive it? Think of it.
I don't know how he did it, y'all, but he got me. Andrew Tate sat down for a 2-hour interview with instructions to release it if something were to happen to him before this trial was set in December. So I had to watch the whole thing. To be clear, I think Andrew Tate is toxic AF. He has made the worst comments about women, and he deserves to be called a scumbag, upside, downside, every which way. But after listening to him tell his story, I actually believe him more than any story that I've heard about him in the media, because he walks you through the entire timeline, the whole setup from Romania back in 2022 to the London, to the BBC, to the Guardian, to the legal system, the arrest in Florida, getting DeSantis wrapped up in it. He lays out a version of events where the woman that he identifies as Girl A, who had the initial allegations against him in 2022, turns out she was paid $30,000 by an NGO. Shortly after there, she flies to Romania where she makes all these allegations against the brothers. That was the end, and it just escalates from there. The British government was involved. They were trying to deplatform him. The media was after him. All of this because they want to shut him down, because he was teaching men how to make money and be more masculine. Two things that we can agree is a direct threat to a certain kind of control. And we can't deny the feminization of men or the growing poverty gap. I'm not saying that his version is a true one, but why is it that all of the women that are supposed to be part of this trafficking ring are coming out denying that they confirmed anything? There's no clients identified. So who is this ring going out to? And the corrupt Romanian government had to release the brothers after they found no evidence, or let's say the evidence to be lacking. So 4 years of this man's life, him and his brother, have been subject to accusations, political persecution, and an attack on manliness, whether it is toxic or not. Maybe the arrest in Miami is actually good, because perhaps being in U.S. custody is the safest place for him, seeing how his biggest fear right now is that he won't stay alive long enough to even make it to court in December. Oh, and I forgot to mention, they just delayed that case until next year.
Now, this next clip I'm going to play is very interesting to me because I didn't know that the UK was putting this much energy into Andrew and Tristan Tate. But apparently they are locked in on these two dudes, man. Even going as far as saying that young boys in their school systems aren't listening to female teachers because they've become misogynistic from listening to Andrew Tate's philosophy.
Please place inside of the video. The UK government are running stories about how Andrew Tate is banned from schools. Andrew Tate is misogynistic and young men don't listen to the female teachers in schools anymore. We're launching a program to stop Andrew Tate's influence in schools. The British government's panicking, and they're spending billions trying to deprogram men from my programming of go to the gym. Scary. While they let grooming gangs rule, while they let criminals steal, while they let murderers stab, while they let immigrants arrive, they're spending billions trying to stop me from telling young men to go to the gym. Members of Parliament, please play the clips. Please play the clips. Members of Parliament are standing up in Parliament twice a week saying, the biggest threat to the United Kingdom is Andrew Tate.
The effects of online influencer Andrew Tate's vile misogyny infiltrates our classrooms and society. Teachers are now having to develop their own resources to re-educate boys who are being brainwashed online by his deeply toxic messaging.
Extradite Andrew and Tristan Tate to the UK today to answer CPS charges that laid in 2024. It is a political decision. A year since I asked them to be extradited. Do what is right. When they are in Dubai or Hong Kong, they can be extradited here, and if not, why not?
The Prime Minister.
Many young boys are exposed to Andrew Tate and many other things of the same type, which is, on the one hand, a sort of an attraction, but on the other hand, loaded with misogyny.
The Prime Minister. All the problems of that country, everyone's talking about me. Now, the interesting question you have to ask yourself at home, what is my chance of a fair trial in the UK when the Prime Minister is saying I'm the biggest problem for the country? Zero. They've just thrown away jury trials. So what's my chance of ever fucking beating the UK in anything? Fucking zero. That's why they tried to extradite me.
Yeah, after watching that, I want to say for the Tate brothers to get a fair trial in the UK is going to be damn near impossible. Now, we talked about some of the good that Andrew Tate has done. Now we got to talk about what most people consider the bad. For those who don't know, Andrew Tate used to be a kickboxer. He then started a webcam company where he would get girls to get on camera. Now, here's why I think he shoots himself in the foot. There's so many videos on the internet of him talking about how he recruited these girls, how he treated them, and how he got them to stay. And it's ironic because the same thing that made Andrew Tate so famous, I believe is going to be the same thing to put a nail in his coffin. Him running his mouth. The same way when Young Thug was on trial, the prosecution wanted to use Young Thug's rap lyrics against him in the trial. I believe the prosecution in the UK, once the trial starts, is going to use everything Andrew Tate said against him. Now, I'm going to show these clips, and I do want to preface this. These clips are probably at least 10 years old, if not older. And this is before Andrew and Tristan became as refined as they are now.
If you behaved, I wouldn't have to hit you, would I? You don't. Get out. You can't stay in there forever.
Baby, are you breaking my sunglasses? Are my sunglasses? You've broken my sunglasses. Ooh, you are lucky that my new Louis Vuitton sunglasses are in this pocket. You're very lucky. Because you're about to catch a case of these hands. Let's serve you up a nice, tall, refreshing glass of my left and right hands. If you break my brother's heart, I'll break your face. You're too fat.
You cannot get a girl to work for you haven't fucked. So the recruitment process is the same as the PhD course. You message them on Instagram. The PhD course is my recruitment system. I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. You fuck the girl. After you fuck the girl, you do the PhD test. If she passes the PhD test and she wants to be with you, then you start mentioning things like, yeah, but you know, you're always busy. You're always at work. You can come work for me.
About trying to get paid. Like I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money. That's what I wanted. So I was a pimp in that sense.
Being kickboxer,
Yeah.
playboy, pimp.
I'm happy with those labels so far.
But the majority of my money wasn't made in fighting. My money was actually made in the pimp game.
We need to understand some basic concepts to the pimp game. Basic concepts to the realities between men and women.
Women need a man to do OnlyFans. It's the same reason a woman need a man to do anything, because they're incompetent and they're very, very lazy. And they're stupid.
When you're pimping bitches like me, it's a full-time job.
So yeah, on CobraTate.com I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree.
PhD course, if you've bought this course, which you obviously have, congratulations, you're going to change your life for the better. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm fucking certified. I know I don't look like a pimp right now.
Clever.
That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me.
If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. By taking girls who didn't know how to be effective on webcam, girls who had never done webcam before, girls who didn't have the equipment, didn't have the know-how, didn't have the will, didn't have the premises, didn't have the ability to make money with this exchange.
Man, after seeing that, y'all let me know. If the Tate brothers are extradited to the UK, are they cooked? But as always, I want to thank y'all for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'm your host that smokes the most. They call me New York Nizzy, and we rolling ratchet.